My producer, who hails from Australia, Samara Gill, has been looking into this case, and obviously she's well aware of how gripped by this saga Australia is. Where were we at, Samara? They're still looking, but no sign.
Look, I mean, Australia's outback can be very beautiful, but very merciless. I knew quite a few people that lived in those sort of desolate lands where all you can see is just barren earth for miles and miles and miles. And this is where this boy has been lost. And this is where this really takes place. It's quite eerie. It's quite a creepy environment if you think about it. And I just think of the sun sort of setting on that dark desert and the family not seeing their son and him still being lost. I mean, it's been about 2 weeks now. A lot
Two
of
and a half, just
two and a
over,
half, yeah. And the police are saying, you know, it's pretty unlikely that when we do find him, if we ever do, that he'll be alive. Now, there is still hope. There is still hope. They said that there were no birds of prey circling the property, so that means that there's no remains near the property, if that makes sense. I mean, they've had everyone on this. They've had trackers. They've had, you know, people of the indigenous land looking into it. Air search, SAS. Australia is very good at these searches. They throw everything behind it. Yeah, they know how to do it. I mean, when you think about very famous cases like a dingo ate my baby, which then proved to actually be correct.
We all remember that.
Yeah.
So this is 300 miles, 4 hours drive or so north of Adelaide.
Yes.
So that's in South Australia. And if you see the pictures of it really is the heart of the outback. This homestead, look at that. This homestead in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So that's where the kid was playing. And then there's this intriguing, tantalising clue. His shoe print found 500 yards away. Now, as you said, expert trackers have said, well, that could have been left there before Gus went missing. But on the basis that it wasn't, what the hell could that mean? Now, we should stress, so people say, oh, well, do you think the kid could have been kidnapped? Well, the nearest road of any potential use by a car or a truck is 18 miles away, right? And the nearest town's about 50 miles away. So if he was kidnapped, who would have done it? How could they have done it?
Well, that's a really good point. They did search the entire property and they found no sign of a scuffle. So this shoe print doesn't really give us anything at all if you think about it. And it said that there is zero evidence that he is on the property. That's what a search team member has said. So that's what we can kind of deduce from that. But in terms of who might have kidnapped him, I tell you what, I mean, you're probably not going to like this theory, Kev, but there were a lot of internal issues within that family. Now, his grandmother is a transgender. I guess it was formerly his grandfather. Now, that's not a problem. That isn't, you know, why she could be the kidnapper.
Not necessarily relevant.
You know, well, it is sort of relevant to the story because his dad, Joshua Lamont, had a big sort of falling out with the grandmother.
So there's a family
there's a few
nuance.
There's a few.
Yeah,
the dad lives 200 kilometres from the property. It's understood that the mother and the father are still together, but the dad was never really allowed onto the property. So there's also that as a consideration. He always said, I don't want my child going out on that barren land because it's dangerous and we don't know where he could wander off to. And so he's obviously distraught. There are some photos you can see online of him just absolutely in pieces about this. I do want to bring up a quote from the child's grandmother, who was the last person who saw him. She said,
what's her name?
Her name's Josie.
Josie.
So
she's the last person who saw him playing in the sandpit.
Correct. And she's basically said, we are still looking for him. You can't help. We are dealing with this as a family. And then the family had put out a statement saying, we urge volunteers to stay away from the property and not help with the search. Now, I find this strange.
That is strange.
What do you make of that?
Well, I find that extremely strange. I mean, normally when you're looking for a missing kid, the family just say, come one, come all. All people are welcome to help with the search. So that is strange. But the other thing is, looking at the terrain there, I mean, it's quite, as you said, it's barren, isn't it? It's not like forested or anything like that. So from above, intensive helicopter searches, air searches, have revealed nothing. I mean, this is the extraordinary mystery we're talking about. You know, I hate to say, literally vanished into thin air. Literally, but he did. I mean, 1 minute, there he is. His grandmother looking at him, smiling, oh, look at little Gus playing in the sandpit. 10 minutes later, she looks up, gone, never to be seen again. The family frantically searched until nightfall that night, 2 Saturdays ago. And I think sort of technically, I'm trying to think, it's Saturday. This Saturday barn, 2.5 weeks ago. And then when night fell, they called the police in. But it does seem sort of almost impossible that with that terrain that you can see quite clearly from above that there's no sign except this one shoe print 500 yards away. If that is relevant, how did he get 500 yards ago? Why is there only one footprint? It's just so strange, isn't it?
It's tumbleweed country for sure. I mean, that's what we're kind of looking at here. And you're right. I mean, how does one child just vanish into thin air? It's just not something that happens on a regular basis, especially not in the Australian outback. And as I said, there is this sort of creepy air to the whole thing looming over this desolate countryside that we are talking about. It's like nothing sort of any of our UK listeners would probably even understand unless they've been there, which I know a lot of them have. But I mean, what I do start to think about is the fact that the father was only notified multiple hours after they said that he was missing and after they were looking for him. I do wonder about that. I mean, we know that there are fractures within the family. There's zero evidence he's on the property. There's just this one small footprint that we have to go off. It's not enough. It's not enough to put a case together. I mean, even the services gave up and now they're resuming on Monday, this Monday, about looking for him again.
And then there's this awful element, the ghouls have got involved, and there's been this horrible fake AI photograph put around. Look, so that's the picture, that's a little, you know, and of course that's a very typical AI, it's very convincing, but it turns out to be a total fake. So in the manner of these things, it always happens, doesn't it? These mysteries, missing person mysteries, create a kind of vacuum, and these ghouls and these freaks enter that vacuum and only increase the torment of the family.
I do agree with that, but I think who might have created that fake AI image in order to stir something up, maybe put people down a different path, throw people off the scent of something else. I mean, that would have been created with malicious intent. No one just sort of says, oh, there's a missing kid, let's make a fake AI photograph about it, unless you truly are evil. So I do think that there might be something a little bit deeper to this AI image that we don't know. I want to know who created this and who's behind it.
And what are people saying in Australia? Are they focusing more and more on the family?
I think there is a focus on the family. They've only just spoken up in the last couple of days, which is very odd for a family with a missing child. When we talk about that AI photo, it was circulated over 23,000 times. So there's clear public interest in this. But I think people of the town will keep searching, even though they've been told not to by the family. And everyone will be on the lookout for this. But yeah, in Australia, I mean, we don't love a missing person story, but it really is a mystery at this point. There's so much that we still don't know.
And of course there is one hell of a lot of the outback for somebody to go missing in. I mean, it is a wilderness, the kind of which people in Britain can barely imagine, right?
Parents' worst nightmare, genuinely, if you think about your child being lost in that desolate outback with absolutely hundreds and hundreds of kilometres, miles to look for. It really is the worst nightmare of any single parent in Australia or the UK, and so I just hope that we do find him, but as the days go on, it's looking bleaker and bleaker.
Yeah, it's an extraordinary story, and we'll keep you posted on it. But how does a kid, even in that remote place, how does a kid vanish into thin air?